Take a look at Kaho Backwoods hole 7. There are several discs in my bag that will work on this hole. You could probably say the same thing. But I wanted to start out with this wind. If you have a turn glide rive in your bag and you have a nice little wind out of the left, especially a tailwind, um, I'll show you this shot. I've been using a lot in multiplayer. And it's not really a trick shot. I would say it's both fun and functional in this wind. Uh, Bottom chevron to the top of that red tree right there. The goal is to get just to the right of this tall tree right here. And that requires about a disc and a quarter worth of anhyzer usually. And if you get the release angle right, it's usually open sky right to the basket pretty much. This one's going to go a little bit long, but you can see it's touching nothing but air there. So you can play around with that if you like or ignore it. What I would usually do is go with the accurate Windbreak Musket or the accurate Extra Glide Sapphire. Slide to the right, bottom chevron at the base of that tree on the right, and then almost full hyzer, depending on the wind. With this 3 wind out of the right, probably not going to go quite full. And try to miss that tree right there, ideally. That bush that's just to my right there, that does have collision. So if you get stuck behind it, you need to either rotate the world or drive through it. I should probably do a video on that, but there are other ones on YouTube already that you can Google. But I might do one anyway. But just know that bush is collision, or that tree bush, whatever. Yeah, you can use the Sapphire too. I mean, the Sapphire is just a longer musket, so it's going to tend to go a little bit more past the basket, but it's still closer than the all air shot that I had earlier. And I'll show you one more that I know a person who uses this quite regularly, in multiplayer at least. The glide skip recoil. Slide to the right, and you want to try to bounce off of this hill, skip off this hill at the end of the fairway here. And it's risky, and I don't practice it, so let's see how this works out. But the goal is to go up high and then drop down on this side of the hill, hopefully, and get close to the basket. So that worked out relatively well, considering I don't practice that shot. Because if it keeps going straight, obviously it's going OB. So those are the shots that I normally use, and most of the time I'm using the accurate Windbreak Musket, just because of the windbreak, and also the distance is pretty good for this hole. I almost got caught behind that bush, but yeah, that's probably 90% of the time my disc of choice on this hole. So that is Kaho Backwoods hole 7. Hope you learned something, and we'll see you around the valley.